Hi, this is the cover crop station, and we've talked with the kids about why we plant cover crops. Now it's time to pull out the cover crop so we can plant in the beds. The first step is going to be to talk to the kids about the tools we'll be using and how to use them safely. The kids will come to you, and the first thing you want is to have all kids put on gloves. Some of these plants might have sharp corners and we don't want them to cut their hands. Also, you'll nominate two people to use scissors to cut the strings that are holding the cover crops up. Once you do that, break up the kids with their gloves and distribute them around the bed. Let me bring some scissors. So the two kids that have the scissors, ask them to start cutting the twine. Now this is biodegradable, so we don't need to separate it. It can just be thrown in with all the other things in the compost. So ask them to safely cut this. Now the other kids have to watch their fingers while they're doing this. The other kids can meanwhile start lifting these poles out. Now you want to wait till most of the twine is cut off, because if they start pulling it when the twine's on there, it's going to get all raveled up. Once the poles are removed, we're going to ask them to bring and put them in the orange bucket. And like I said, the twine can just stay in with the rest of the cover crops. Now, after this is all removed, the reason for the gloves, the kids are going to start pulling up the cover crop and putting it in the wheelbarrow that you'll set right at the end. You also see here the forks. We'll get to that in a little bit. The kids are going to have a really great time pulling up the cover crops, and this is where the teaching happens. We've talked to them about fixing nitrogen and how the roots below the soil are adding a lot of structure, and they're the jackhammers that are breaking up the soil. So remind them of that concept. Have them examine the roots and look for examples of how much those roots have grown, and examine the nature of the roots. Also talk to them about all the stuff above ground. This is going in the wheelbarrow that's going to get rolled over to the compost at the end. So we're completing the circle. You planted this cover crop in the fall, it grew, it built up the soil below the bed and created all sorts of great things for the compost. Also in this class, we're going to talk about pollinators and beneficial insects. So they'll probably be seeing bees and all sorts of things flying around the cover crop they're working on. Point that out to them as well.